Hello, traders. Welcome back to Your Nifty Guy. I hope all of you are doing well. Today, the market finally decided to speak, and it didn't just whisper. We actually got a clearer sense of direction, along with some very interesting hints that can shape how tomorrow might unfold. From the opening move to the mid session reactions and the final closing structure, the market left clues everywhere. And if you can read them right, they tell a much bigger story than what the charts show on the surface. In this video, we are going to break down today's price action in detail, decode those signals one by one, and then build a solid high confidence plan for tomorrow's market. If you are new here or you have been watching regularly, make sure to like the button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share the video with fellow traders who trade Nifty. All right, let's dive right into the charts. Today, the markets opened with a slight gap up, immediately went into a selling mode, giving us a closing below yesterday's low. Now, the trap scenario, which I keep talking about, did form today. The reason I did not discuss it yesterday was usually the trap scenario forms after a trending day. But yesterday being sideways, I decided to refrain from it. But then again, this is something which I want you guys to keep in mind for any particular day. If we are getting a candle like this, which is open equals to high candle, even if the open is not equals to high, we might travel some a little bit on the higher end, but then we need a bearish candle like this, right? Which shows that there are people who would have entered fresh shorts around here, and then the high of this candle gets taken out, right? So this was the first trade for me that I took today in the morning, wherein I entered at the break of this particular high. I exited in this candle following my trailing rules, which you guys know are well aware of by now. And I captured a total of 13 points in this particular move. Now, this was the only trade for me in the day. I did not take any subsequent trades, but then again, I want you to show you guys something. Now, after this particular move, which came in after the markets broke out of the opening high, markets gave a retracement. Now you will be surprised to see if we connect the lows and the highs. The markets took a retracement at exactly the point 0.5 zone, and it is exactly from here that the markets reversed. Now, why did I not take this particular trade? Number one reason, I was only looking at long entries above this, and I needed a clear change in structure before initiating any long trade yet again after yesterday's price action, right? And that was the reason why I did not. But then again, after this particular move, market went sideways for a lot of time. Again, gave a small retracement. Again, went up. But then I refrained because the VIX was also on a decline for the last 2 days, and the options were not moving as happily as the spot price was. Right? Even in this particular trade, although uh, good enough trade. It was just an average trade, to be honest. Uh, in terms of the way in which the options were moving today, it was average trade. That is something that I would like to qualify it as. But then today's price action has actually given us certain hints at what might be unfolding for tomorrow or maybe for days to come. Right? I'll be deleting this as well as this. If we look at the price on a daily, we'll start with the daily first. Nothing much to discuss about for today because very normal day. Just I took one trade, right? So yesterday we saw this particular bearish engulfing candle. Today again we have seen a very good bullish candle, which has given us a closing above yesterday's high as well as a 2-day high, basically. But then again, we might still be in a larger sideways price action, and this kind of candles are very common uh, in a state where prices tend to remain in a sideways zone for a long period of time, wherein one day is bearish, next day is bullish. There is trapping on good amount of trapping on each side. So whether we have finally broken out of the range or we are still again going to come back in the range is something that will determine based on tomorrow's price action. Now, 4 hour chart is something which is giving us a still clear price structure on the bullish side, right? On the 75 minutes time frame, we have seen that the structure had minutely changed with regards to a lower high being formed. But then on the 4 hour chart, it is still a clear swing which is there, and because of which we'll be marking out our fib levels for our fib, right? And now speaking about the plan of action for tomorrow, number one thing, this level that we have marked on our charts on a higher time frame, the 26,100 basically, uh, will be a key level to watch out for how price action unfolds around that level. Still, our number one plan of action will be to create a long entry above today's high with a pullback. Again, the level of 26,100 is quite close, so we'll need to keep a close watch on this particular trade if we take. And needless to say, above this, we are above this particular level, we are absolutely long in the markets. We might be aiming for a new all-time high pretty soon, right? For in case of any gap down openings, we might be again coming down around the fib levels. And if we observe some good buying or positive price action, this is the place where we go long. Tomorrow's trading plan will be extremely simple. Short only below this, right? So there is another short scalp that can be done. I will quickly be sharing that as well. So there's this particular trend line, which is actually quite a steep trend line, but then a good enough trend line. So in case if we come down below this trend line, let me now this is micro Fibonacci marking. Just a second here. Sorry. Yeah. So this is the 0.5 to 0.618 zone is right. I'm just simply taking on a 15 minutes time frame. So this is an extremely quick scalp. So if you are not experienced with scalping or with taking quick profits, do refrain away from this particular trade. But then if you are good with scalping and you can take good quick profits and can take quick exits, uh, you can look at a trade at the break of this particular trend line with a pullback. Of course, we can plan a short trade below this trend line with targets around these levels. Right now, our primary bias is towards of the trades on the long side. So if in case if we get a scenario where in this particular setup forms, in case if we are getting, or maybe in case we see this particular move come down, form a double top around here, and then we break down below this trend line, we can still take the trade. But then if we are taking this because this is against the primary trend of uh, the biasness that we have, we will be taking it in lower quantities. And not only lower quantities, we will be keeping a strict stop loss. And also, once inside the trade, we will be trailing our stop losses very tightly, right? So this will be the sweet and simple trade plan for tomorrow. Right, today's price action has given me a good sense of relief because yesterday's price action actually got a lot of people shaken, including me. But then again, this is something which will happen in phases of sideways consolidation. So whether we are above the sideways consolidation or we are actually coming back inside it will be determined by tomorrow's and in eventually days to follow price action. And that is something we'll keep an eye on. And as usual, what I say, do not predict anything, be prepared for anything. That is what is the mantra that we will be keeping in, right? So, all right, traders, that wraps up today's breakdown. The market has finally started showing some direction, and if we stay alert and disciplined, these hints can turn into real opportunities in the coming sessions. If you found value in this analysis, don't forget to like the video, share it with your fellow trading communities or circles that you might be a part of, or anybody who trades Nifty and can benefit from it. It helps the channel grow and keeps this daily content coming. Remember, every market hint is just information. It's your reaction that becomes the edge, right? Trade smart, stay focused, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Cheers and thanks for tuning in, guys.